anything else, I would like to thank you for being the most influential person in my life in the last 10 years, and in a resultful way, not just in a theoretical way. And yeah, you have impacted my life in so many ways that it's just an honor to be here in the same place as you are.
Thank you.
And thank you for inviting me to come out of the blue. I'm having like the most amazing week ever, and thanks so much. Also, I want to thank the both of you at the same time, because I have the feeling that you represent outside of me my two hemispheres. And to have this dance of how you make love to each other outside is having an effect of me integrating as I see you. Well, no pretension, but my left hemisphere, and you're on this side, is a very what-oriented way of thinking, and I have the feeling that you're like a Renaissance man, contemporary Renaissance man, and my right hemisphere lives in the same world as you do. Yeah, world of magic and synchronicity and possibility and imagination, and you are like a sacred priestess to me, and having this sacred marriage to be, yeah, with us for 3 days is like such a big gift. Thank you so much for being and for loving each other.
Woo!
I would like to know who here wears glasses, if you can raise your hand, or contacts. And who knows someone who wears glasses or contacts? Okay. Who would like to get rid of them and be able to see with your own eyes without having surgery? Okay, so I serve people like you. I teach people how to see clear without glasses or surgery. I teach natural, clear vision. And I do so because I was born half blind, cross-eyed, I look like this, and very nearsighted. And I had the fortune to have a grandfather that was a medical doctor and who advised my parents to bring me to someone who worked with natural vision improvement. So by the time I was 1 year old, I had perfect vision. And this is a story that my parents have told me like at every birthday, so I know I own it. It's like I'm hardwired with, it's possible to do it because I did it when I was like less than 1. So if I can do it, anyone can do it. So I grew with a very strong identity of having a perfect vision with both eyes, day, at night, far, near. But I had to go through other times where I had eye symptoms, like when I was 10. So when I was 23, I developed myopia and astigmatism and diplopia, and then when I was 34, I developed astigmatism and presbyopia. And every time I was stubborn and stuck with this positive identity of I am someone who is clear, so I keep that identity, and I went through all those symptoms without ever wearing glasses or getting surgery. The first time it was solved with stimulation at a physical level. The second time it was solved with, okay, actually, I woke up one day, I was 23, I was in France, and I saw double and blurry, and I got panicked. So I called my mom in Spain, and she was even more panicked than me, so she said, go to the ophthalmologist. Okay, so I go to this guy, and I say, yesterday I saw clear, and not today, what happened? He didn't want to know. He just wanted me to look at some numbers and letters at some distance and put me glasses. And I'm like, but what happened? Silence. Okay, so I was very frustrated and tore the paper to the trash and went to another doctor to have like an understanding of what happened. And it turned out that I had sinusitis. So I could understand that with pressure in the sinuses, that compresses the eyeballs, and then there's an error of refraction, you don't see clear. Okay, that makes sense. 7 days of antibiotics, sinusitis is over, I see clear again. And I remember having thought, if I hadn't been that stubborn, maybe I would have put glasses on and would have worn them all my life. And how many people may be out there that had a tension for some reason that was just something that could have gone away, but they were not as stubborn as I was, or as clear as I was with my clear identity, and so they put glasses on, and now they're stuck with them for the rest of their life. But I kept on with my life, and when I was 34, I was already studying like the body-mind connection and how you can interpret symptoms as the reflection of tension in your consciousness or tension in your emotions. And when I got blurry vision once more, couldn't read and couldn't see the signs far, I went again to an ophthalmologist, but this time not to get a prescription for glasses, but just to know what the name of the diagnosis was, to look at my book and see what kind of inner work I had to do with myself. And I gave myself 2 months to solve it this way. If I didn't manage, then I would look for glasses or whatever. And within 2 months, I cleared myself within, and it showed outside. So, and actually one of the messages my eyes were telling me was, you are bored with your life. I was a successful professor at the university, and I thought I was living my dream, but no, I was living my father's dream. So I had to have this very clear conversation with myself to pursue my own dreams. So I decided that I would research clear vision, natural clear vision. So I went on with that, and I discovered that there were more levels to improve your vision naturally. You can do it on the physical level, the chemical level, emotional level, mental level, with light and energy, and also in a metaphorical way, and balancing yin-yang in yourself, and also working with your habits. So I put together a model, but it was kind of like a toy for me. Like, it was interesting, but I wasn't like putting it outside. And then you remember that 2012 was the end of the world. It was for me. It was actually the day of my birthday. I was becoming 39, and I was at a peak state. I was very successful in my life, celebrating with my friends, and after so many years and so many efforts, I was finally pregnant. That was like the dream of my life. And went to the toilet, started bleeding, end of the party. We ran to the hospital, and we found that the baby had a condition that would make her blind.
Wow.
Possibly deaf, and maybe with brain paralysis. And the father wanted to interrupt the pregnancy. He was like, I'm not in for that. And I think that was the first time I experienced unconditional love in my life. And I just surrendered to it and said, well, if this baby wants to live, I will just welcome her and love her as she is, and that's what I'm gonna do. So it tore apart, the relationship broke, and the baby didn't survive anyway. So it was like 7th heaven to 9th hell, like. So I was like a walking dead person for months, until the magic of life brought me to Mexico in a very strange way. And I fell in love again in Mexico, and life pushed me, like the bank swallowed my card, so I couldn't pay like for the hotel, and I couldn't like eat, so I had to do something so I could stay in Mexico and be with my girlfriend. And so I started sharing what I had built, what I had created, and people were coming and coming and coming and coming, and it was beautiful. And then I magically bumped into an email of a guy named some Mike Dillard guy talking about an Evan Pagan, what do you call it? Not a professor, a mentor. And I clicked on the link, and I saw the most amazing video of this bright teacher telling amazing techniques, explaining how to teach online, and I was completely like, whoa, I have to do this. I had never been interested on the internet ever, like no blog, no Facebook profile, just email, but nothing, no web page, nothing. But teaching to transform people's lives, that resonated so deeply with me. So I bought the product plan blueprint guru something. The name, sorry about that. You have so many of them.
That's the next thing everybody should buy is the guru something. Plan.
Sorry.
Kit.
Anyway, I don't remember the precise name, but it helped me structure my message, know how to talk about it, give it a name, put everything in order, work a process that would be understandable by someone else, build a webpage, everything. So at the time, I wasn't even doing it online yet, and it enhanced so much like my offline practice. People kept coming and coming and coming to my sessions and my workshops, and I had the feeling to be in paradise, sharing my toys with my friends, and then people came to play with me and they paid me for it. Wonderful. So that whole thing, going to Mexico where I spent the sabbatical actually meeting that loving woman and being able to do that, gave meaning again to my life. I had completely lost the purpose of I was like, why do I work? Why am I alive? If I cannot be a mother, what do I do with the love I have inside? And then you gave me the tools to be able to do something with it. And to give again, meaning and purpose to being here and make something beautiful out of it. And actually honor the life of my unborn blind child in a way that, makes her coming through the earth, even if it was for a while, meaningful also for her. So, and that was just the first course I took with you, because then I took other courses, and I thought about maybe like stop working at the university. So I thought, okay, you have to work out your finances and your retirement, and so there was a self-made wealth course there. So now I have like 5 apartments that are paying themselves with people that hire them. And then the sabbatical was over, and I went back to France and kept the job at the university anyway. And so I started to want to serve people from the distance. Like, I'm in France and all my people are in Mexico, so let's teach from the far. And so I'm very bad with names, sorry. The digital product blueprint that was, so that helped me build the online thing. And the Wake Up Productive has made it, I do it every year, and it's amazing what it has done for me in 5 years. Like, productivity results have skyrocketed. I'm living a life I couldn't imagine a few years ago. And now every time I do a launch of my online natural clear vision product, there's between 200 and 300 people that register from 40 countries. So, with the free stuff, it's like hundreds of thousands of people that are watching it. So I know that the work I've done is really useful for lots of people, and that's so beautiful. So thank you so much for your work, for loving him, for doing this magic, and that is be part of it. Thank you.